Welcome to Presentation, Ponder, Practice. A variety of crowns are to be considered when thinking of how history runs right through the Old Testament. Possibly the most famous of crowns would be those worn by the kings of Egypt, Pharaoh, or the gods of the Egyptians. The authorities of Egypt wore everything from circlets or diadems to tall, elaborately adorned headdresses. The great double crown showcases the white crown of the Upper Egypt fit inside the red crown of Lower Egypt, making them into one crown when the two kingdoms united. Pharaoh's diadems have the iconic royal cobra on the front. Assyrian kings had special crowns to wear as well. A curving mitre ending in a point was worn by the kings of Babylon. David took the gold stone inset crown of the king of Ammon, or the better translation being Milcom, the god of the Ammonites, as a prize from battle. 2 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 30. The parallel is found in 1 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 2. To make more sense of this, the Ammonite rulers were adorned with large high crowns, which were said to be that of the gods, or at least belonging to them. Ahasuerus' queen, Vashti, in Esther chapter 1 and verse 11, had a crown that became Esther's crown in chapter 2 and verse 17. When Mordecai was honored, the royal apparel given to him included a large gold crown, Esther chapter 6 verse 8 and chapter 8 verse 15. The crown of the pagan kings and their idols symbolized their office or their power and authority. If you want to see depictions of the crowns, check the links in the description of this video. God is the God of all nations. In Obadiah verse 4, God said about Edom, "Though you build high like the eagle, though you set your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, declares the Lord." Paul said of God, He made from one man every nation of mankind to live on all the face of the earth, having determined their appointed times and the boundaries of their habitation, that they would seek God, if perhaps they might grope for Him and find Him, though He is not far from each one of us. For in Him we live and move and exist. Acts chapter 17 verses 26 through 28. It was Daniel chapter 4 and verse 34 that says the Most High is ruler over the realm or kingdoms of mankind and bestows it on whomever He wishes. God is in control of all the kingdoms of the earth, using them to accomplish His will. We must choose to make ourselves subject to Him and His authority, allowing Him to rule our lives, because He will not force us to fall under His rule. Thus, consequences will come if we choose not to submit to God's rule. We will face those consequences at the judgment. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verses 6 through 11. No matter the kingdom we live under on earth, we ultimately all live under God's kingdom. The elaborate adornment of rulers and those in authority speak nothing of their submission to God. The spirit of a humble servant is far greater, brighter, and more decorative than any man-made crown. May God bless you as you practice humility in submitting to His rule.